Welcome back to the channel, guys. Time for another Warcraft Total War faction preview. And of course, as you can see by the flags, we're doing the Horde. I already did the Dark Horde before, and I originally was only going to do that one to represent, the kind of Orc factions. But I figured that this one had enough units which were different to warrant making a video for it as well. Kind of like how for the humans I had the Scarlet Crusade, and then I also ended up doing Lordaeron as well. So let's begin. First off, we'll be talking, like usual, we'll be talking about the most useless unit, the Orc Peon, and they have this really horrible trait that's common with a lot of the low tier units of each faction. They're just, when you tell them to stand in a line, they wander around, because I guess they're peons. They gotta go work. They have to collect items, but that makes them completely useless in battle. So in addition to having low attack, horribly low defense, they also can't stand in line. They're disorganized. Never recruit them. Even as a city garrison, they're not worth getting. Then we have the grunts, which are pretty good, especially considering how cheap they are. 14 attack, 12 defense, but you can upgrade that armor quite a bit because most orc units start off completely unarmored. Nothing, not even leather armor, naked almost. And they're really good. They also have armor penetration because they're wielding axes, so just the standard basic infantry unit of the Horde is very good. Then you have the Orc Warriors, which are a little bit better, 15 attack, 14 defense, and they also have armor penetration. In many ways, this is a faction that is specialized to fight against human factions, because a lot of the units have armor penetration, and human factions usually have a lot of armor, plate armor. Then we have the Orc Spearmen. They're a lot worse, but I guess they're kind of mediocre for a spear unit. Definitely worth recruiting if you're facing off against, for example, Theramore or any other human faction. And now we have a Tauren unit, which is interesting because we haven't talked about the Tauren before, and they are very durable. You only get 35 of them, but they have 17 attack, 18 defense, and most importantly, they have 5 hit points. So it takes a lot to take them down. Definitely worth getting. Very good, very effective shock troops. Then we have the Orc Berserkers. They're pretty good. A little bit pricey, but pretty good. 16 attack, 12 defense, 2 hit points, and they have armor penetration. So as you can see, the general trend is that the Horde is very melee specialized. They have great melee units. And speaking of great melee units, we have the legendary Blade Masters. These guys are extremely good. 25 attack, 16 defense, 3 hit points, armor penetration. They inspire friendly troops and they scare enemy troops. Extremely good. I've used these guys very effectively. They're very good against human paladins. And human paladins, they're nothing to laugh at, but these guys make mincemeat out of them because the combination of armor penetration and high attack makes them very effective at fighting them. Then we have the Kor'kron Bodyguard. This is the default Horde General's Bodyguard. Most of your generals will have them as the bodyguard unit, and they're very good. They're one of the best bodyguard units in the whole mod. Definitely, I think, the best melee bodyguard. They have 18 attack, 23 defense, 2 hit points, and armor penetration. So very good. Then we have the Bloodhoof Thunderhooves, and I think they are the general's bodyguard of any Tauren generals that you start off with. So, I mean, extremely good. 20 attack, 22 defense, 8 hit points. War Cry special ability, you can see it right here, increases attack, armor penetration. Very, very good. They're a little bit expensive, but I think they're worth it, especially as a general's bodyguard unit. If you have any generals that start off with Tauren bodyguard units, definitely try to keep those generals alive. Then we have a troll unit, the Dark Spear Headhunters, and they're pretty good for a missile unit, for a javelin throwing unit. 11 attack, it has armor penetration. Considering how cheap they are, I would say they're worth getting. They're not bad. Then another Dark Spear unit, the Dark Spear Shadow Hunters. They're okay. Oh, that's kind of odd. It says they have a bonus fighting cavalry, and they have armor penetration, so not bad. Considering how cheap they are, definitely worth getting. Then we have the Orc Spear Throwers as well. They're a bit worse than the Troll Spear Throwers, but they're okay as like a garrison unit. Orc Archers, they're not bad. You get 150 of them, so that makes up for the low missile attack. Definitely good as a garrison unit to put on your walls. Then we have a spellcaster unit. Orc Shamans are very good. And it's kind of crazy because you have all these amazing infantry units, but then you also have a really good spellcaster unit. Shows how good of a faction the Horde really is. Their melee attack and defense are okay, however their missile or magic attack is very good. Then we have the Orc Wolf Riders. They're okay. The only thing I would say that's really good about them is that they have armor penetration. The attack is pretty low for cavalry, but the defense is way too low. They're too squishy. Then we have the Bat Riders. They're pretty good. They inspire nearby troops, and they have the fast moving traits. So you can use them to flank very well, and their missile attack I think are grenades. So not bad, but I would say a little bit expensive for what they offer. Then we have the Kodo Riders. These guys are extremely good. They cost 6k, however I would say they're definitely worth the price. Melee attack is 25, missile attack is a little bit low, but doesn't really matter. Defense is extremely high, 32, hit points are 3. They also have a special attack. They scare enemy units. I mean, they're just an extremely, extremely good unit. As soon as you can recruit these guys, you will easily win any campaign if you use them effectively. Then we have another magic unit, the Farseers. They're very good because they're fast moving, because they're cavalry, but they use magic. So that's a very effective combo. They also scare enemy units. So 9 melee attack, 10 defense. They're low, but their missile attack is solid, and it's magic, so it has armor penetration. You can use these guys very, very effectively to flank the enemy, hit them where it hurts, and then get them to safety because you're mounted. You can quickly move away. I forgot to talk about these guys, the Wyvern Riders. They're a little bit different from the Bat Riders. Their melee attack is kind of low, but they have very, very high defense, 33. 3 hit points. Missile attack is not bad. They inspire friendly troops. They're effective against armor because they're using magic attacks. So same. Everything that I said about the Farseers also applies to the Wyvern Riders. You can use them very effectively to flank the enemy and shoot some devastating magic. And then lastly, we have the mounted Dark Spear Headhunters, and they're pretty good because the missile attack is not bad, but because they're throwing spears, it comes with armor penetration, They're also very effective against enemy cavalry if they're using horses. Pretty good. Very good for that price. 1.4k, you get all of that. It's definitely good. So that's it for the Horde. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment on your thoughts, what you would like to see next, and subscribe if you haven't, if you want to see more of these, and I'll see you guys in the next one.